So I just finished reading Redeem and Love by Francine Rivers, and here's one life lesson that I'm going to keep with me for the rest of my life. The life lesson is when you are praying for something and praying for someone's deliverance, whether it's their healing, their salvation, whatever it may be that you're praying for somebody else, do not let your eyes deceive you into thinking that things are not changing. In the book, we saw how Michael Hosea was praying for his wife, praying that she would become softer, praying that she would become the wife that he believed that God has told him that she will be, praying that she finds Jesus, all of these things. And whilst on the surface to him, nothing was changing. She was still mean, she was still hardened, she was still rude, and everything that you wouldn't want a wife to be. What he didn't see that we could see as readers was that her heart was softening. All of a sudden, when she would say something rude to him or something that was quite outlandish, something that wasn't kind, she would feel moments of guilt towards that. She would have a conviction. She was feeling challenged. She was feeling that her heartstrings were being pulled. And we could see that as readers, but he couldn't see that as the character in the story. And what I found so emotional about reading that is I know there have been times where I've prayed for something, not necessarily for myself, but for others, that they will be delivered, that they will be healed, that they will find Jesus, all of these things. But because nothing seems to be changing on the surface, I believe that nothing is happening inside their hearts. And as we know, as we've read in the Bible so many times, God does his best work in somebody's heart. Because if somebody just changes on the outside, but they're not changing the inside, then they haven't really changed. So there was something I really learned about being patient with your prayers and just not assuming that because you prayed for someone's salvation today and they're still acting of the world tomorrow, that it doesn't mean that your prayers will not be answered. So there was something about reading that and realizing, oh, let me not get tricked by the enemy into believing that I should just stop praying, I should just give up, because we outlive our prayers. And actually, if I continue praying for someone's salvation, deliverance, healing, whatever it is I'm praying for, that trusting that God is doing a work, like he never stops working. So that is something that lives with me, because now I actually can see it in everyday life that, okay, what I thought would look like the change may not be what looks like the change, but it's actually good that I can't see the change because that means it's actually happening in their heart. And sometimes it's just a softness. Sometimes people become more gentle. They start to care about things more. And that's what we saw with Angel in the book. She actually started to care about the fact that she was upsetting Michael. She started to care that maybe she would say something that was rude, or she would care that she saw him crying. But there was a time she did not care. But he still thought she didn't care, but we could see that she was feeling that her heartstrings were being pulled. So I say all of that to say that reading that book reminded me that actually when you're praying for someone else's salvation, healing, deliverance, whatever it may be, that you also need to pray for your own patience to wait for the manifestation of the thing that you're praying for in their life.